Everything you thought you knew about yourself is shifting. The beliefs that once defined you, the truths you clung to, the rules you thought governed reality, none of them hold the same weight anymore. You can feel it, even if you've tried to ignore it. That faint sense that something deeper is calling you, that the life you've been living is only a fraction of what's possible. What if all the confusion, the chaos, the uncertainty you felt lately wasn't punishment, but preparation? What if the storm was never meant to destroy you, but to cleanse you? When the universe prepares you for a new beginning, it doesn't knock politely. It shakes the very ground beneath your feet. You start to question everything, your direction, your relationships, even your sense of purpose. It feels like the world around you is falling apart, but in truth, the illusion is what's collapsing. The masks, the false identities, the borrowed dreams, they're dissolving, making space for something far more real. The discomfort you feel is sacred. It's the sound of your old self cracking open so the new one can be born. There's an ancient saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. That teacher is not always a person. Sometimes it's the silence after heartbreak, the emptiness that follows success, or the exhaustion that comes when you can no longer pretend. The universe whispers through discomfort, asking only one thing of you: listen. Listen to the quiet pull within you that says, something more awaits. You're not broken, you're being rebuilt. And yes, questioning feels like chaos, but questioning is creation. The moment you dare to ask, who am I really? You begin to unearth the soul beneath all the noise. You're not losing yourself, you're losing the version of you that was never truly alive. You stand at the threshold of awakening, one step forward, and life will never look the same. The ground beneath you may tremble, but that's only because a new foundation is being laid. You are being prepared for your next stage, not through comfort, but through awakening. When the old world inside you begins to crack, what follows is silence, the kind that hums beneath the noise of your daily life. You start to notice it between conversations, in the moments when you pause and realize that the things that once thrilled you now feel strangely distant. It's as though your soul is quietly stepping back, observing your life with new eyes, and whispering, "You've outgrown this." That whisper is not rejection, it's redirection. It's the universe gently showing you that the best stage of your life cannot begin until the previous one is complete. The old must dissolve for the new to emerge. At first, this process feels confusing, even painful. You might wonder why your passions have dimmed, or why the people you once called home now feel like strangers. The detachment can feel like loss, but it isn't. It's evolution disguised as emptiness. You're not losing interest in life. You're losing interest in what no longer aligns with the person you're becoming. Just as a tree sheds its leaves to survive winter and prepare for new bloom, you are releasing what cannot follow you into your next season. That disconnection is sacred preparation, not decay. There's a subtle beauty in this unraveling. The routines that once gave you comfort begin to fade, and at first you might resist. You'll try to breathe life back into habits that no longer feed your soul, cling to connections that feel familiar, or chase feelings that no longer return. But eventually, you realize something profound. You cannot resurrect the past without burying your growth. Life doesn't ask you to burn bridges in anger. It simply invites you to walk beyond them with grace. Each ending, no matter how small, clears the path for the extraordinary chapter that's waiting for you. As your old reality dissolves, clarity begins to seep through the cracks. You start seeing patterns that once kept you trapped, the roles you played, the fears you carried, the masks you wore. You begin to understand that your past wasn't wasted. It was the training ground for your awakening. Every disappointment, every closed door, every goodbye, it all carved the space necessary for you to step into this new vibration of life. The disconnection you feel is not emptiness. It's the universe rearranging your inner world to prepare you for what's next. The soil of your being is turning over, fertile and ready for new roots. And soon, you realize something miraculous. You don't miss the past anymore. You thank it. You bless it for what it taught you and release it for what it can no longer give. The fear of letting go fades into a quiet trust that something greater is unfolding. You're no longer chasing after what once was. You're standing open to what is yet to come. In that moment, you step into alignment with the flow of creation itself. That's when the shift happens, the moment the best stage of your life begins to reveal itself, not through chaos, but through clarity, peace, and renewal. When you finally loosen your grip on the past, a strange stillness fills the space it once occupied. It's quiet, but alive. For the first time, you begin to see your life without the filters of habit or attachment. What once seemed so important begins to lose its hold over you. Success, image, validation, all those markers that once defined your worth start to blur. You feel a subtle but unmistakable pull inward, as though something inside you is whispering, "There's more." That whisper grows louder until it becomes truth. The confusion that once surrounded your path begins to dissolve, replaced by a clarity that feels ancient, like a memory you're finally remembering rather than learning for the first time. This clarity doesn't arrive like a thunderbolt. It seeps in, gently but persistently. You begin noticing that your energy gravitates only toward what feels real, meaningful, and aligned. The noise of comparison fades. The rush to prove yourself quiets. Suddenly, you're no longer moving from pressure, but from purpose. It's as if life is rearranging its colors before your eyes, shades you've seen before, but never with such depth. The world hasn't changed, but your sight has. And with that new vision, you understand that everything unfolding, even the uncertainty, is part of the architecture of your best stage. It's not chaos, it's design. The more clarity you gain, the more your values begin to shift. You start questioning why you ever chased what didn't fulfill you. You see how much of your energy was spent maintaining illusions of control, of success, of identity. Now you crave simplicity, peace, depth. You stop measuring your life by what you have and start feeling it through what you are. And in this reorientation, a powerful realization dawns. The best stage of your life isn't something you reach, it's something you remember. It's the natural state that emerges when you strip away everything false. The moment you align with that truth, you're no longer waiting for your best life to begin. You're living it. From this clarity, your path becomes lighter. Choices that once felt heavy are now simple. People who once confused you now reveal their purpose, some to stay, others to teach. Every step forward feels guided, every encounter meaningful. You no longer chase signs, you recognize that you are one. The fog that once covered your vision has lifted, and what remains is awareness, pure, unwavering awareness. And as you walk in that awareness, something profound settles into your being. You were never lost. You were always on your way here. This calm, this awakening, this quiet certainty is the threshold of the best stage of your life. Clarity opens the doorway, but intuition is what walks you through it. Once your vision clears and the noise of the world begins to fade, a new voice starts to rise within you, calm, steady, and familiar, as though it has always been there, waiting for you to listen. It's not loud or demanding, it's subtle, like a gentle current beneath the surface of still water. You begin to realize that this voice is not separate from you. It is you, the part of you that remembers what your mind forgot. And the more you trust it, the more the path ahead reveals itself. The best stage of your life begins not when you gain control, but when you learn to trust that inner navigation system that has been guiding you all along. At first, listening to this guidance feels uncertain. Logic tries to interfere, convincing you that intuition is foolish or unreliable. But something within insists on being heard. You start noticing patterns, moments of synchronicity that feel too precise to be coincidence, words that arrive at the exact time you need them, encounters that shift your entire direction. Each one feels like a quiet confirmation that you're aligning with a larger design. The universe isn't testing you, it's responding to you. Every time you follow that nudge, even when it defies reason, life seems to rearrange itself in your favor, as if the unseen world is conspiring to support your awakening. Intuition becomes your new language with existence. It doesn't speak in logic, it speaks in resonance. You begin to sense energy, the subtle feeling of rightness that tells you when something aligns, and the tension that warns you when it doesn't. This inner compass sharpens with every act of trust. You stop needing constant proof because you start living from knowing instead of doubting. The anxiety that once ruled your decisions begins to fade. In its place grows an unshakable peace, a confidence that comes not from predicting the future, but from feeling that you're guided through it. You no longer walk blindly into the unknown, you walk with the unseen at your side. With this guidance, your hunger for growth deepens. You start seeking experiences that nurture your evolution instead of distractions that numb it. Books, people, and opportunities that align with your vibration begin to appear effortlessly. You realize that your reality bends to the level of your awareness, that the outer world simply mirrors your inner state. You become less reactive, more observant. The need to force outcomes fades, replaced by a quiet understanding that everything unfolds in divine timing. Growth no longer feels like a struggle, it feels like remembering the rhythm of your own expansion. And slowly, you come to a profound realization that your intuition isn't just a gift, it's your connection to the greater intelligence that moves through all things. It is the voice of your higher self, the echo of the universe speaking through you. To follow it is to align with destiny. To trust it is to step into harmony with creation itself. When you live this way, guided, open, and aware, you stop searching for signs that the best stage of your life is beginning. You know it has, because intuition doesn't lead you toward the future. It leads you home, to the part of you that has been ready for this moment all along. As your intuition strengthens, something powerful begins to unfold. A quiet, but unstoppable liberation. You start to sense that your freedom has never been taken from you. It was only forgotten beneath layers of fear, guilt, and expectation. The same voice that guided you through confusion now whispers a new truth. You are not bound by anything except what you choose to keep. It's a revelation that shakes the foundation of your old identity. The opinions, the obligations, the emotional ties that once dictated your steps begin to lose their hold. You realize that liberation isn't about escape, it's about remembrance. It's remembering that your soul was never meant to live small or confined, and that stepping into the best stage of your life requires releasing everything that keeps your spirit dimmed. Freedom, at this stage, is no longer just an idea. It becomes a living experience. You start releasing toxic connections, outdated roles, and environments that no longer align with your growth. The same clarity that once illuminated your path now becomes your filter for truth. You can feel, almost physically, when something disrupts your peace or drains your energy, and you honor that feeling instead of ignoring it. The act of walking away no longer comes from anger, it comes from deep self-respect. You stop needing to explain your boundaries because peace itself becomes your language. And as you detach from what no longer serves you, a lighter, purer energy takes its place, one that draws toward you the kind of love, opportunity, and purpose that reflect who you truly are. Through this release, you come to understand that liberation is not a destination, it's a state of being. It's living in alignment with truth so fully that you no longer need to force anything into place. The best stage of your life doesn't arrive with fanfare. It unfolds naturally once you stop resisting your own expansion. The heaviness fades, the uncertainty softens. You begin to move through life with quiet power, a power born not of control, but of surrender. You've returned to your essence, unburdened and alive, ready to create from authenticity instead of fear. And in that moment, you realize the greatest truth of all. Your soul was never waiting for the perfect life to begin. It was waiting for you to begin living freely. If you're still here, your soul already knows what's happening. You've crossed an invisible threshold, the point where the old reality begins to dissolve and a new one takes shape. The chaos, the confusion, the detachment, the awakening, it was all initiation. You've been in training for this very moment. The best stage of your life doesn't begin when everything looks perfect. It begins when you realize you are, when you stop waiting for signs and start becoming one. From this moment forward, the universe will meet you at the level of your belief, your awareness, your alignment. So step forward with faith. You're not falling apart. You're falling into place. Your new chapter has already begun.